Uh, radio check, radio check. Work is in the AO. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for some more Motorsport Manager after a pretty decent break. Yeah, I'd like to say I had my batteries recharged, but I kind of got a couple of hours of at full sleep. Not exactly full charge, but at least we can manage. Well, speaking of break, I did manage to actually finish the CC Gen person fan art that we were working on last time. Not only did I manage to finally apply all of the details that I needed to apply, I've also managed to adjust the alternate version of the colors. Hang on. I've already posted this on Twitter and on my Pixel, so it's on my Twitter, twitter.com/. Uh, yeah, it's on my Twitter, which is linked on my profile. It's also on my Pixif account, which is also named the same as my Twitch channel, Lurk at Work on Pixib. Let me see if I can grab a snapshot of how the alternate colors look like after I was done with them over the break, which I kind of like got into after a few hours after I took a break for a bit. Took a snooze and woke up and decided maybe I should actually finish this, even though I am not gonna be able to finish this on the stream. Let me see if I can snatch it. Uh, Come on, where are you? Taking a while to load. Let's see. Hang on. Just uh, and not like that. Okay, where's that snapshot? Edit. I'm just gonna be able to show the alternate colors because if you want to see everything else, you can just check the what do you call it? You can just check the Twitter and Pixip accounts for the full details. But uh, for the one I already finished, the alternate colors kind of look like this mostly. Eesh, that's a little too big. Where's the size changer? Hang on. Oh, it's not showing on the screen yet, is it? I suppose it's not. Uh, this. So mostly this is how it looks like with the alternate colors. I'm actually surprised it looked pretty decently after applying most of the extra shades and then switching over to the original colors. But yeah, I'm actually just happy that I did manage to finish it finally. Probably do another set of drawing streams in a couple of days after we get a little too tired, or once I get more inspiration for what to do. But for now, I guess I'd really appreciate it if you could uh if you could share this on Twitter or Pixiv. Oh, share this on Twitter or Pixiv. Drop a comment, drop a like. and I might consider whatever your suggestions are for the next time I do another drawing stream. That would be really helpful. That would be really helpful, to be honest, so that I get better at. Uh, it would be helpful, to be honest, so I get better when I continue drawing it. Any hoot. Now that that review is done, I think we should go drop down and start driving. Well, remember last time we were stuck in Guildford because we kind of started pretty late, and we had a couple of mishaps. Mostly errors with the tire changes and all that. Both our drivers suffered errors, which significantly threw away our chances to get back in the race. Oh, oh no, right, I forgot, we already saved in the middle of the start. So let's just pray that we don't suffer enough here. I don't think I can come back and do anything about the rest of the race. And here's also the problem. The fact that I gave Perez the wrong tires at the start is also going to weigh heavily on our driving chances of getting at least within striking distance of the the podium drivers. Let's hope we don't suffer enough here, or we don't suffer too much, and try to survive at least until the middle of the season so that we don't go down significantly and we manage to get enough points, at least get stay in third, which is where we are right now. Any hoot, I think it's time to drive. Remember, it's going to be a one-lap race, so it's going to be either 10-11 or 11-12. As much as possible, we have to keep Vosu up front, and Perez should be able to stay in the race with another set of soft tires, but I'm not too confident about the state of our pit crew right now. Seems they're mostly tired and all. Not exactly a bad start, but it could have been better, to be honest. As we keep our position steady, traffic seems to have not changed much. Although there is a bit of a change up here in the upper half of the mid-pack. Fist going down from third as Billiou snatches his position over. Fondi still ahead of the starters, though he's 0.5 of a second ahead of the nearest opponent, Merchant. Bosu and Perez still stuck at 15th and 16th. No means of getting across ahead of Dalpeclua for here. Ooh, that's not good. Saw managed to sneak up corner there, putting our drivers way behind now. Ramsey, who's currently one of the leaders in the racing boards, is back at 20th, but he's definitely ready to strike here. Fastest lap there for M. Parker as we approach lap 2, coming under that tire bridge there. That's that Dunlop tire, isn't it? Fortunately, both our drivers are way behind, and the tires don't seem to be cooperating much. Ugh! Bit of a messy back end over there near that chicane. As Esteva goes down with Sa and Parker getting ahead again. Gansler also grabbing some spaces like that. Okay, not much of a crash there. Looks like there's some friendly competition between our drivers here in the back. Still no sign of them getting ahead or getting back in the middle though. As Sa with a quick overtake, late braking here on this particular chicane. Perez lost the chance of getting at 17th with Ganser blocking her again. Now we're starting lap 3 as our drivers are still struggling to get into the middle. Meanwhile, the rest of the pack seems to be breaking away up front. Here in the back, there's still a bit of a jam. Dullingfist somehow getting up in first. Fondi now on third. 4 seconds behind. Must have been an overtake at the worst possible time. It looks like the tires are starting to wear down a bit. So I guess it's time to increase their heat a bit. Yeesh, Walsu is now 20th. Perez is ahead of Ramsey, though. But Ramsey is definitely trying to get there. Ooh, good double overtake for Perez on that particular chicane. Where are we? but she won't be able to overtake. She won't be able to keep that for long, but like I said, because Dawson is right behind her and Balkan is still blocking her, definitely. Lap 4 has now begun, and we still don't see any progress much from our drivers here. Yep. Dawson is right there trying to get an overtake on the straights and managing to straight that out on the corner, but Perez desperately sticking to it on the chicane. The temperature is a bit more normal, so I think we should drop it down a bit. I don't want to push it a little too far engine-wise, because I think that might kill them faster if we're going a little too onto it. We could probably afford to go into high for the time being. Let's just hope we don't suffer any engine issues here. As Perez almost loses that again to Dawson, still getting back at it on the slow turn. And Vosu has taken over Lalpeclua, who has somehow been stuck at the back for some reason, despite the fact that she was up on the front end earlier. And we are beginning lap 5 with our drivers in 16th and 18th. We're switching positions, actually. No sign of any major improvement there. And Dawson is once again ahead of our driver. I have no idea why Balsu is complaining about a Lucatelli driver. Oh no, it's Perez. Perez is complaining about being behind Balkan for quite a while now. Ugh. Not exactly a good sign when even Sa is already ahead. But she's down to 50% on our tires, where we're still at 63. Might be a good time to... No. Keep it in at neutral. They're still not complaining about tire temperatures. Well, I think we can still afford to push. Engine conditions still pretty decent on both sides, though Perez is now down to 73. We might have to push her down a bit as we approach lap 6. While Sue is having a lot of trouble getting back up here. But things could definitely change in the next 2 laps as everybody else up front is starting to switch over their tires, or at least suffering from some serious damage here. Merchant, who was originally part of the top 3, is now down to 15th, and his tires are really wearing down, 37%. We still have 49 in ours. Perez is now down to normal driving as she tried to keep the tire wear down. Ooh, not good. Might have to push the tires a bit further now. Oh, good sneak on that overtake there at the second to the last. That's second to the last chicane? No, it's the start of the big hairpin here. Push her away. Perez pushing Silvera out of the running there. Overtaking at a tight overtake run. Almost crashing into her, though. Hang on. Merchant is just ahead of us. Probably... Ooh. Just 0.3 of a second ahead of Perez here. It's still a bit of a gap, especially now that we're entering lap 8 and things are starting to get really hairy. Poor Vosu stuck in the back still, having a bit of trouble focusing in the past few races because of his affair. Perez, meanwhile, having a bit of a boost thanks to that racer mindset and level 3 race trim. It definitely needs some more boosting so that she can get out of his rear liner as everybody else up front is definitely pulling away. Not exactly a good spot here when there's this big gap between the front runners and the mid-packs. Can Perez get ahead of Merchant and at least go up in the ranks here? Oop, Merchant is signaling for a pit stop here, so there's a chance we can finally take over his position. Good jump there. Running out of that chicane. Well, it looks a bit even Fondy is also booking it. Looks like the Dragon Team drivers are having a bit of a tough time getting some points up. And Vosu, out of nowhere, takes over 3 racers, although there's now a good chance he might have to slow it down a bit as his tire wear is really showing up. Now, it's already lap 8, but the tire wear is really starting to show up on our drivers. Looks like Billy, you also need to do a pit stop because of some or some parts issues. Have to switch over to some. We'll probably have to switch over to some slower but more durable tires in the middle here, if we can keep our drivers alive for another few laps. I don't think Perez is going to be okay with that, though. She is now down 27%. Might have to switch her out here. How many laps is that? 12 to 14. 8. Do we want to risk it? I feel like we can still do one more run. Ah, got overtaken by... Oof, got overtaken by Vosu on that one, no? Oh, no, it's not. It's Ramsey jumping out from that corner. I think it is time to send Perez to the pits for a switch line here. Anything we can fix that doesn't need extra money? Okay. Probably fix the... We can't fix the engines because that's an extra 5 seconds, but we can attempt to fix the rear wing. Let's go for safe. 8% chance, but there's an extra 2 seconds on the repair, so that's going to be a problem. As now it's start of lap 9. It's not exactly a viable start, switching Perez over from softs to putting Perez in super softs because of my mistake. But let's hope that doesn't affect her much when we start driving. As now she's down to 18th. Wait, what? Oh, Reba switched over to inters pretty early. I don't know if I want to switch over to inters, actually. But we might have to at the rate the weather is going. As we now start lap 10, and by the looks of it, Vosu might definitely need to pit for inters here. I don't know if nah, that's not... We don't need to fix parts, but we might have to drop the fuel at least. We will lose some points here, I fear. And Perez still here at the 18th place, which is not exactly a good sign, especially when we have to switch. We might have to switch over to inters soon. Tire temps drop down a bit, and here comes up the rain. As things might have to switch over a bit. Though there's probably enough of a gap for Perez to stay on the road to let Vosu pit in for a bit. Yep. And then we'll have her... We'll have her pit in after lap 12, maybe. We're still a bit dry here. Nah, I think we can pit now since Vosu's out. We're switching over to inters for this one. I need to change fuel as well. Nah, we can't fix that. Can't fix that either. No parts here that can be fixed. That doesn't require a lot of money, or it doesn't require a lot of time, actually. Right. Keep it at neutral. I don't want those tires to die out pretty quickly. Oh wait, did we get a mistake? No, she just dropped. And now we're stuck here with the leader still switching over, or still driving pretty decently. Weather is going to be a bit rainy until at least lap 17th. And Perez is now back in 19th. 67's behind the race leaders as we start lap 12. Our drivers are still working our way up to that, though. Ah, couldn't make any time to get past Ramsey. And Perez is now down in 20th. as Gansler gets ahead of her. So I think it's a good time to stick to medium fuel for this one. Perez has taken over Merchant, though, who's just about switched over to Inters as we start lap 13, and Vosu is still here in the back. Won't be able to take advantage of the other racers who have just entered the pit lanes here. Ooh! So much for that. He just went past Esteban just as Esteban was coming out of the pit lane there. Although there's a good chance he won't be able to hold that position for long. Tire Tap's not exactly doing us any favors, however. No. Keep it neutral for a bit. The tire temps are still warm enough to at least give us some speed and grip in this wet situation. But I will have to survive until at least lap 17, and then we can switch over to some faster tires after that. Perez, though, still in the back, not exactly having a good time. I don't think she's gonna like this much. There's a good chance we're gonna drop to third at this rate, going way behind Silva. Wasu, though, looks pretty confident as he gets past Esteva and Balkan and Laupeclua, just going within striking range of the Silva Racing driver Ramsey and Parker from... Well, Parker from Firebird MRT is still well ahead of us. He just came out... Oh, she just came out of pit with a fresh set of intermediates. And we've still got a lot of racing to go. Question is, should we switch over? No, when do we switch over? Should we switch over before the end of lap 16? Or lap 17, rather? Or should we just keep it until the end of the race? Perez is looking to get ahead of Laupeclua here, who's still stuck in the pit lanes for fixing. And there she goes. Nope, Wasu having a hard time keeping Esteva away from his 6. And also having a hard time trying to get back at Ramsey, who's 3 seconds ahead of him. Temperatures are still going high, and the rain, well, the road wetness is just about ready to hit the apex for the day by the looks of it. Oof, almost lost it there. Somehow Vosu kept it before Esteva could take advantage of that open spot in the inner lane. Managed to get keep her away from that hairpin as we enter lap 15. Wasu, though, is having a harder time keeping the position as Esteva inches ever closer. Perez, meanwhile, is still well behind here and having a hard time getting back at it. Can't really risk putting the engine up, though, because it's already down to 54%, and we're still only at lap 15. Oh, almost lost it there as well, getting really close on those corners, and right there, Esteva snatches it and is about to break away. Maybe it's time to push our drivers a bit further up. Ah, no. Maybe not. No, we definitely need to keep it up. It's 8 laps remaining, and our tire temps aren't exactly being happy right now. Question is, can we just keep it up there? Because apparently there's going to be some more rains until the end of the race. Wait, what? Ramsey crashed on a crashed on the outside turn here, and for some reason, Bosu took advantage of that, took over Tianuna, and snatched third. But by the looks of it, Silver Racing might be suffering a bit here. Just a bit, as they're still way ahead of us in the projected standings. Unless, by some miracle, Perez manages to go back up, we'll not be able to take advantage of the points here. As Vosu is now in third, but he's 12 seconds behind. Not exactly a good sign here. We still have 7 laps to go. And he's already down to 67 points, or 67% on his tires. Perez also going down quickly at 65%. Still a bit of racing to go here, as we try desperately to keep up with everybody else. I don't know if we can keep the tires awake until the last run of the race, because it's still a bit of driving to go here. 6 laps remaining. Vosu is 12 seconds behind Parker and 2 seconds behind Esteban. Not looking too good for our drivers. Perez manages to snatch 15th for some reason, but there's still a bit of a gap between her and Vosu, as well as her and the next driver over. So that's just under a second. That's El Sadat, who's somehow still in the running despite the fact that ZRT Auto Motorsport is having some trouble this season. 60% on the tires and still a couple of laps to go. Can they stay at it? Tire temps are starting to wear down again. Maybe it's time to push a bit. Just a tiny bit. Let's hope it doesn't wear out too fast as we try desperately to keep the same tire up until the last lap. We've still got 5 laps to go though. And Al Sadat is still keeping Perez away. So it's already just 0.2 of a second behind. So there's a good chance that Perez can finally get over El Sadat and at least grab 14th before the race is over. Not looking too good. Ooh, finally! Waze Roiba is still ahead of her, though. Which means Perez still has a lot of racing to do. Now we're just about ready to enter lap 20, which means we've still got 4 laps to go. Tire wear is definitely starting to be a factor here again. Perez is down 48%. We still have 4 laps to go. Engine condition is now down to 46%. Vosu down to 54 and 35% on car performance. I don't think we want to do anything about that. Let's try to drive more conservatively, shall we? Let's push at the last lap, try not to kill our engine, and hopefully we also won't kill our tire in the process. Ooh, Perez managed to get past Delinkfis is now 13th, but I don't think she can get back up after that. We still got 3 laps to go, I'm afraid. I don't think we can actually drive this good now, and I don't think we're in the mood to switch tires, too. Temperature, tire wear, not exactly having a good time for both of our drivers. Trying to push Perez a bit as we start lap 22. I don't think I want to push Perez, Vosu though. No, don't push it. Don't push it. Push it at the last second, maybe. As we now approach the last lap of the circuit. Getting really wet on the field on the final lap. Trying to push the tires a bit more. Hopefully Vosu can keep it till the end. And not exactly too confident about that, though. Everybody on push as we try to get back at it, but unfortunately Vosu is a little too behind to at least get in the pipe. Nonetheless, he'll be able to finish this with a podium finish. Will be one of the rare few he has in the season. Unfortunately, Perez will have to sell for 13th, and that means we're down on the standings, but nonetheless, we're pretty close to silver racing still. Somehow lucked out on that one with no crashes and no errors on our pit crew today. Still, despite the fact that we did not actually get higher in the team standings, I'm still happy that we did manage to finish with a podium. Let's see what's on the news after this. Well, at least it's a good start. Pretty decent finish. Not exactly 100% what we wanted, but despite that, we did manage to stay in the lane there. Could have pushed a little further if I didn't switch to inters early. Well, that's just how it is. See if they are gonna find anything weird with the other drivers here. Nope, nothing here. Ramsey, poor Ramsey though. Serious early crash in the middle of the race kept Silver Racing from getting ahead of us further. Luckily, that kept us alive for this one. Fortunately, that's 17 seconds behind Parker. Not exactly a good look. Nonetheless, we still get 18 points out of that, and we also get our bonus. $1.2 million, not bad. Great to see Watson Industries on the podium, really. Wasu jumps up to third in the driver's standings, 107 points, just 5 points behind Sa, but still a pretty large gap, 11 points behind Michelle Parker, who is still at the top of the standings. Sam Gansler, being in the middle of the pack for this one, drops down to fourth with 106 points, and poor Perez, who has suffered significantly in the past 2 races, is now down to eighth with 89 points, sharing the she did lose more points to Dawson here because Dawson is a lot ahead of her, despite the fact that they're all at 89. That's actually 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers with 89 points. But Tianuna, who suffered some engine issues early on, has to settle for 9th, despite the fact that he did jump up. And Arbeloa, who was also almost ahead of us for most of the race, drops down at 10th. Meanwhile, both Benjamin Merchant and Yasir Fandi continue to suffer throughout the 2023 season. They're stuck at 19th and 20th in the racing standings for individual racers. El Sadat from CRT Autosport also has a lot to complain about as he drops down to 16th with 52 points to his name. And Octane Racing's Lays Royba also drops down a couple to 18th with 46 points. Vulcan, Lalpiclua, and who else? Looks like Vulcan and Lalpiclua don't really want to complain about anything as they're stuck in their same spots, 11th and 12th respectively. But Lucatelli Racing definitely needs to work up some more miracles if they want to get back in the middle of the pack. As for team standings, Firebird MRT continues to dominate, 224 points. That's 22 points ahead of Silver Racing and now 28 points ahead of our team, Watson Industries. No changes in the team standings. Dragon Race team definitely behind everybody else. Significant reduction in points there. 59 points in Guildford is not exactly a good look. Then Pelly Engineering is ahead significantly, but they're still behind most of them. Octane is still at 8th, 102. ZRT down to 100. ZRT isn't exactly down in standings, but still pretty down in points, 108. Lucatelli at 127, and closing up the middle of the pack are Archer with 178 and Exala Motorsport with 187. We've only 5 rounds of racing to go this season. Hopefully we can get better at this. Bonetti is racing. Ooh, big Bonetti fan here. There's a Michelle Parker fan on this one. Watson and suck. I know they did well today, but I don't care. They suck. Not much of a fan, huh? Firebird MRT's Michelle Parker has walked away with the top prize here in Guilford after an incident-packed race. Laura Esteva, who finished 13 seconds behind, and Jacob Wassu round out the podium. See what's up on the news. I wonder how bad our car condition went down today. Ooh, that's something. Wait, what? I already have new one. The morale dropped for Perez because of that point. Bit of a boost to marketability. Chairman's still pretty happy. No need to worry about that. Bukalova's morale still decent. Relationship with the driver is pretty nice. We really need to get our drivers better stats, though. But yes, perfect. $664. $664,000 all told. I need to increase the HU income, though. Was everything in the top flight, though. Ooh, somehow or other, Lipinen got one over his rivals at Scuderia Rossini, and he's now top of the racing tracks, despite the fact that he didn't exactly place anything in the podiums in the Milan circuit. His teammate is up there, though, Masahiko Taniguchi. Grabbed 8 points for the team, but he's only at 34 points and third on the driver standings. Parisi, who was originally on top, only got 6, so that's why he probably went down. And Lucy Lavoie for Panther Race Team surprised everybody by snatching third. Steinman is still up there, but Scuderia Steinman snatched first. Scuderia Rossini dropped a bit. A lot of working up to do here. Meanwhile, in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, looks like Chun-A for Chariot still managed to get some good close-ups there, snatching both pole and a pole bonus. She qualified in pole. Fortunately, that does not help the team much, as Team Kirov is still up there ahead of the pack. While the European Racing Series, yes, that's us right there, Watson. The stats are terrible compared to everybody else, though. Definitely need to get something done about that. Let's see those mailboxes, shall we? Ooh, not exactly an ideal weekend. Negative 46%. That's a lot of parts condition drops, mostly because we pushed his car a little too far. Perez, meanwhile, dropped 41. Not exactly bad, but definitely needs some work. Oh, what's the news? What do you need? Oh, I don't really like. Well, her stats are great, but her feedback sucks. I don't think I want to drive with her right now. Just 4 tenths, almost 5 tenths of a second behind the regular, or rather the season record. Thankfully, no mistakes, but definitely need to switch up the pit crew. I sure hope the mechanic in charge of this crew management is going to give us some pretty decent pull-ups for that. 5 hours before the new front wing is complete. I definitely want to invest in the design center soon, but we're definitely going to need more money. What's the sponsorship looking like? We still got 4 races for. We still got plenty of races for all of them. 4 races for Deutsche Air, 2 races for Northern Harbor, 4 races for Vamoose, 2 races for Yoga Games, 14 for Cortez, and 9 more for Old George Brewing. Finance is not looking too good. What do we want? Cheap. Yeah, keep it cheap. As long as we can get some good, pretty decent driving skill, or rather, pretty decent standings at the end of the season, I think keeping in just a cheap amount of money stashed away for the next season's car will be enough. Uh, we need to be better at top speed. Unfortunately, our engines aren't exactly type that can make you go wahoo. Let's see where this is heading next, shall we? Oh, parts are done. Can't fit that just yet. Is it? Is it a good engine? Oh no, this is a front wing. Front wing, and it's illegal as all heck. Okay, maybe not today. Anything else I can design? Now we've unlocked everything, I think. We can't really get any of these epic parts just yet. We don't even have a wind tunnel for the front wing. Gearbox. Oh, I can unlock an epic gearbox. But we don't need an epic gearbox for next season. Yep. Let's stop investing in the gearbox. Better engines, though. Hang on. What's our engine components for next year looking like? I got a great engine, but it's illegal. We'll keep that for next season, and then we'll fix that up right quick once we're closing in on the season, this season in particular. I should also get some. Wait, what's the other one looking like? I should get another good engine, or another great engine with good performance. Money though. This one puts 828 as well. Oh, I do have an extra slot for that one just in case. That's gonna cost us extensively though, which is a bit of a problem. Maybe not anymore. Our parts seem good enough at least. Don't need to worry about the gearbox next season, so we can focus on getting better engines and maybe improve our HQ. Maybe. Oh. Okay, car repair is done. Oh, come on, really? 3 weeks? Well, you go and do that. Form is won during the race. Let's hope we can get past that before the next race comes in. I don't want to suffer having both of my drivers driving terribly, especially since Tondela is going to be very important for us. Okay, so far so good. Keep it at that. There, buddy. Spec suspension. Nah, I don't want to. I think the suspension should be good. I already invested in these ones, so I'm definitely gonna vote against this. Okay, what else can I make? Let's improve the reliability of the new illegal parts, shall we? All the purples on these guys. Else average, good average. Okay, that's it for now. Can I seriously not get that? I want to upgrade, boss. Come on. Ah, well, whatever. What's our suspension? Our suspension is still great. I want to bring back spec front wings though. How long are they gonna be able to do this? 21 days after the race. How's our drivers looking? Pad form. In that case, I might have to put Perez in testing and then have Pukalova in driving. Might. Oh wait, no. Nah. Pad form. One more week. I think she can survive. Emphasis on think as oh. Looks like a tough flight are at the Ardennes right now, and ooh, that's another win for Lipinen, or rather his first win in a while. Zach Hamilton from Windsor taking second, and fellow Finn Majid Kuivalainen from Panther Racing Team snatches third. Parisi nowhere to be found, and now Lipinen scores a significant boost over his rival, though his teammate Tanakuchi is nowhere to be seen as well, leaving them at their previous scoring points of 42 and 34 respectively. But because of that jump, Steinman Motorsport is now way ahead of Scuderia Rossini, and with a good chance of getting away with it. 32 days. Too hot for our crew here. It's about spec. Do I want to? It doesn't really affect me much. I mean, we could probably afford to get some more. So maybe I'll abstain. How much voting power do I have? I have 3. Yeah, let's vote for it. That means we are saving more money in development, but well, whatever. Skip to the end, please. Yep, it's approved. That's gonna save money on developments. Ooh, they're asking for a fun for a, what do you call it? They're asking for a forecasting center again. Tondela gonna be 25 laps as is the usual. I don't think the weather is gonna be helpful for us today. We already did come over to Tondela last time. Somehow we managed to snatch 5th and 8th on that. After Tondela, it's Milan, Black Sea, Beijing, and Rio. Yeah, definitely helpful, but I really can't invest in that right now because I don't have the money. What else does the forecasting center do actually? That's it? That's just for forecasting? Okay, let's see what the motorsport world is saying before the race in Tondela this season. All right, MRT once again. Firebird MRT is expected to win. Yeah. Looks like everybody is saying this. Even top racing pundit David McNamara is expecting Firebird MRT to win this one. Oh, we're on the news. Watson Industries, managed by Amelia Watson, are predicted to finish around third, which would be seen as a solid result for the Japan-based team. Chairman Spencer Richa. Anything other than third will probably raise the chairman's blood pressure. That's putting a lot of pressure on our teams now, or our team drivers. So here's hoping things might actually improve. If we can keep our third position here, we will have a good chance to stay in third for the rest of the season, I think. That's just wishful thinking, especially with a terrible list of drivers and pit crew. Our car is still third best on the grid. Sponsors are third best. Staff, fifth best. Parts improvements, not exactly going so far so good. Increase the performance of some of these. Ada ka? Ada, wala yun. Up and running. Done in 3 days after the race. What? What the heck? Okay, let's drive. Where do we want? Oh. Nah, that's a little too high. We're just sticking to Vamoose. Save this. Save here. Hopefully we don't have to suffer anything. And parts fitting, everything's... Oh, they're both delighted at least. That's a morale change to 4%. Definitely need to work a lot on that once we get the money flowing. Now we're back in Tondela. Would have been nice if we could have switched over Tondela from Vancouver instead of adding it to the race weekend, but I guess that's more for us. More ways to make money. Of course, that means there's more ways for us to lose money in the process as well. Now let's just hope we can actually get something good out of this. Bukalova in number 2. Perez, we need you to race so you can rest a bit so you can focus on driving for later. To be understeering, a bit of shorts, downforce, a slight change in downforce maybe. Then you're gonna stick to mediums. Meanwhile, steer. Tire choice softs. Let's take practice. Keep them both at, okay. Let's make it 8 laps for Bosu, and Bukalova can go for 4. Let's hope they spot any issues early, so that we can switch out of settings quickly. Not exactly looking too good for our drivers here. Setup knowledge going up really slowly, not the good sign I was looking for. And it's been almost 2 minutes and it doesn't look like changing quickly. Really happy with the gear ratios, excellent. Let's keep it at real time then. That's still a little too fast. Definitely not showing a lot of good signs here as we've already hit 9 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Setup knowledge are still way low. Race trim also not going up as expected, which is not a good sign. Gandler is making it look too easy. Right. Time to change arrows then. Expecting Bukalova to also need a change in arrows here. Speed it up a bit. Taking too long. No complaints from Bukalova so far. I don't like that. Okay, more angling on the wings apparently. Downforce is okay, handling is okay. Speed balance definitely needs a change. Should get a bit softer. Yeah, let's go with this. Drop the stints down to 4. Hopefully we can just jump out here as soon as possible, as we only got 7.5 minutes left in practice. Gonna send Bukalova in now. Barker once again showing her skills up here, being first in practice. We've only reached level 1 trim. Gotta move soon, we've only got 6 minutes left. Handling's great, speed balance could use some work. Downforce is awfully full, or awfully poor. Some more angled maybe, not this one. Okay, let's try this on for size. How's Bossy doing? Push it a bit, shall we? Alright, arrows being so much nicer. Still no change in behavior as we approach 5.5 minutes. Just a bit of a push to high setup knowledge would be helpful. At least level 2 race rim would be nice. Ooh, can't get best there. Ah, he is now its high setup on. Handling needs a fix, apparently. A bit of a switch up to the handling, but the arrow's nice. Race trim is now at level 2 at the very least, so that's going to be helpful. We only got 3.5 minutes left. Can we at least get everybody back in? Alright, downforce is excellent. Speed balance is okay. The handling is awful. So we need to probably get some more speed up. Arrows are still pretty decent. Probably gonna have to reduce the understeer a bit. Or increase the understeer, rather. Thankfully, our arrows are perfect. 17.4, 27.3. We still got a chance to get the arrows, or get some speeds up over there. Oh, great! Colova's already pretty decent. Good balance of handling and oversteer here, so I think we can just go ahead and send her out now. We've only got 2.5 minutes left. Let's see how far these two can go. So you set up knowledge for the tires aren't really doing anything. Gansler is now top of the practice laps. 1 minute 21.85 seconds there. We got 1 minute left. Can we at least get this race trim to level 3? Doesn't look like it. Nope, we're not gonna get level 3 race trim. Oh, we got level 3 race trim at the last second, but Wasu and Bukalova are stuck at 7th and 9th for practice standings there. Not exactly a good look for the race, despite the fact that we did get some pretty decent feedback on the setup knowledge there. Hopefully that's going to translate to a better performance in the actual race. Just thinking about Firebird MRT makes me angry. No class at all. Looks like he's not exactly a fan of how methodical Firebird is at keeping their positions up. Gansler is definitely in a good spot to nail it. Close? I don't think so, buddy. Even though we're not exactly close, we're talking about Firebird and Silva here, and I think Silva is going to struggle to get at it. Very likely. Now, let's see how far we can take this drive out. We're a bit more... Very likely that we'll have some trouble getting back in the middle here. Let's take it in. Race trim and nurse helping us get through the race. Race trim and quick fixes definitely need better support for that one. Beautiful. Beautiful, look at that. Look at all that. Really good chance of getting out here. Yeah, I should probably save it here now. Wait, oh, not again! I keep forgetting to switch the tires. Why did I save when I forgot to switch the tires? Well, let's pray we don't suffer any consequences here, as we start the lap pretty badly. Lawsuit with poor acceleration. Perez getting stuck in the middle there, not being able to get ahead of Gansler. Bit of a traffic jam on the hairpin coming out of the starting lane. Now Perez is now down to 17th and Lawsuit to 20th. Make that 18th as Sa gets ahead of her. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Gansler cut a corner, and they're going to review that later. Wonder if that's going to affect his standings in the final part of the circuit. Nah. No penalty, huh? I think this scoring top lap for the reason here. But in exchange, his tires are now down to 85%, pushing it a little too much. As we start lap 2 with still a bit of a traffic jam here in the back. Traffic jam it is. Look at how bumper to bumper everything is back here. I'm seeing below Ramsey, Parker, Sa piling up pretty badly in the back here. And Perez managed to get back one over Alal Peklua, while Vosu is having a hard time getting through with her at the straights. Perez trying to get back at Gansler as well, but the gap is just getting a little too tight, or a little too high rather. Snatch it at that chicane, but it's Bonetti that she takes over. Ramsey and Arbeloa are going ahead of it. Up on the front. Perez drops down to 18th once again as we enter lap 3. Tire temperature is still pretty decent, but their tire wear is dropping down pretty badly. Can't get out of here as there's too much traffic and the brakes aren't really cooperating. Ooh, Vosu is boxed up between the two Lucatelli racing drivers there in the back. And as he tries to get past Lopaclua, Balkan is right there blocking him, keeping him in 20th. Perez snatching 15th there? Nope, lost it again right as they enter the next chicane. And as... Ooh! Oh no. El Sadat suffering once again just before the home chicane, and he crashes at the end of Sector 3 there, hitting the tire barrier. Thankfully, that doesn't mean we're getting a... that does not mean we're calling in a safety car since he crashed the last second. And Vosu somehow managed to get 17th while Perez is up to 15th. Or make that 16th as Balkan jumps over ahead of her again, just outside the starting corner. Now we're going through the straight into the S-curve. And still we're having trouble getting away from these Lucatelli racing drivers who have been defensive all morning. Eesh, another drop to 17th here as we approach lap 5. Things aren't looking too good for... Ooh, good overtake from Bosu there on a home corner. Lays Rui, but didn't see that coming. Nonetheless, tires don't seem to be looking too hot for both of our drivers, and we're only at the 5th lap of the series. Thankfully, tire wear isn't too much of an issue. Or rather, tire temperature isn't too much of an issue, so we don't really need to push that hard. But parts conditions might change in the next 10 laps, so if we can keep this up, we might not need things to push up until the last 5 laps or so. Speaking of laps, we're approaching lap 6 now. Still not out of the bog here in the rear, but things are starting to break away in the middle and the top. Merchant suffering from a dodgy neck. Dawson still up 7th. Parker just ready to inch ahead and drive past the current leaders while still at 6th. Delinquist, Bilio, and Esteval will definitely have to switch out soon. Bosu currently ahead at 13th, but he's definitely, or ahead of his teammate Perez at 13th, but he's definitely having a hard time trying to get back in 12th with Silveira way ahead of him. Fondi blocking Perez and Lopaclua. Lopaclua just got ahead of Perez there while she was struggling. Fondi, Elixabeth, Bilyu, and Merchant have stuck in and went for the pits. Bilyu with an issue with some of his car parts as well. Not exactly a good sign for them. Wasu is now up to 11th thanks to those pits. Perez up to 16th on the other side. Silveira 1.7 seconds ahead. A lot of time in racing. Overall, Vosu is way behind, 22.1 seconds, and Perez way further at 26.7 seconds. And Bonetti sneaking right there with just 0.2 of a second behind of Perez there. Looks like Silveira is about to call it in. We still got a good deal of tire wear to go as we approach lap 8. Can they survive at least till the 11th lap here? That's not good. Looks like Perez will have to pit pretty early. Probably have to send her pitting right now. So, no, that's a bit of a risk. We should try and pit her at the end of lap 9, maybe. Oh, no, she's already red. We need to send her out to the medium soon. How about we don't change that? No. No, no, no. Too much. Nurse isn't doing anything for Perez right now. Guess the only thing we can do now is hope she can switch out the tires quickly. Put down a safe, unfortunately. Well, Sue will have to tackle with 8th here, as he is now down to 34% with 17 laps to go at the start of lap 9. Not exactly my idea to switch them over a little too quickly. We might have to do it just now, as Perez goes down to 16th because of that switch out. Let's see if she can survive for a little longer here. Well, soon, now down at 28%, we might have to switch him over to 2 mediums as we enter lap 10. Oh yeah, to try and put him in fuel. No need to worry about parts condition at the very least. We might have to. Can we do this without a fuel change for Perez though? We'll just have to see. Perez trying to get back at Merchant, who spit up a little too early, is now way behind on tire wear. As Vosu starts to. Well, Vosu is the only one with softs on the field right now. As we approach lap 11, and Vosu is gonna lose his 5th place spot. Ugh. He's now down to 13th, 14th rather, after that pit, and Perez just behind him at 15th. Everybody else is just about split up on tire wear up front, right in the middle of the race. Question is, can we switch up fast enough to make things count? 14 laps to go. Starting lap 12. Vulcan having some parts issues on top of his tire wear problems. Gandler jumping up to dropping down to 3rd, but he's gonna jump to 2nd by the looks of it. Balkan's still ahead, but he's definitely gonna switch out soon. Tianuna up front, but he's down at 25. Sa still pretty decent. 67%, gonna switch over to 5th after this pit, I think. We're way behind here in the back. We can't take advantage of changes up front over in the upper half of this lineup. Somehow got 13th and 14th, though. Question is, can we push it a little further? Yeah, Perez is definitely having some issues here. Oh, we still have a lot of laps to go. I don't think she can have enough fuel to end the race here. We'll have to see until the middle if she can actually keep it up. As we jump over 3 drivers who quit to the pits, and now Vosu and Perez are at 10th and 11th respectively. Ganser has switched over to softs and is really pushing the throttle up here. The question is, can we keep this pace until we at least get up there? Oh, Tina Nuna is finally boxed in, getting his tires fixed, and that seems to be the only thing he's having an issue with right now. At the start of lap 14, so Esteva is now taking over everybody else. Dellingfist is down in second. Grams are jumping up to third. And our drivers are still stuck at 10th and 11th respectively, but tire wear or tire temperature is starting to be an issue. Thankfully, though, it's not really going down as fast as I thought it would be, so we might not need to push it until the end. We've only got, 11 laps remaining as we enter lap 15. Tire wear is still a bit decent for Vosu, 75% remaining. Perez is down to 60, and her fuel reserves are actually getting a bit lower, so we might have to switch her over to fast ones. If we're lucky, we could switch her over soon, though we might just have to put her in low speed for now, keep everybody else blocked. As we approach lap 16, I think it's a good time as any to send her over to pit and fuel. What the? Oh. Okay, let's see if we can... Let's just change the fuel, see how much fuel we can need there. Then keep the tires unchanged. 5 seconds on the fuel. 8 seconds in the pit time estimates. So do we risk it and go down on the fuel lines now? Or do we keep her until the end of the race and see if she can at least get one lap up? Okay, now let's just keep it up for here, then see if we can put her in the pit lane near the end to switch up and get some fuel up in her tank soon. Things don't seem to be looking up for our drivers up front, as Sa is now down to 31% in tires. Parker still has 54% in hers, which means she could still stay into the end of the race, possibly. Inuna, who just switched out, is at 76%, but he's pushing heavily. Dawson, not exactly looking too hot, 44%, even though he's driving at normal pace. Esteva, who's currently holding position at first, is at 43%, and she's trying to keep it conservative on her driving as well. Ganser, who's switched over to softs a little too early, might have to switch out again, as he's now down to 51%, which is a little too close for comfort, especially in lap 16. Now we're just about ready to start lap 17. 9 laps to go. We still have 64% for Vosu and 10%, or rather 49% for Perez. Hmm. 18. Still deciding if I want to switch out or rather put some fuel into Perez's tires here. Or put some fuel into Perez's tank here. Probably change tires, but feels like that's a risk I don't want to put right now. So we'll just have to see if we can actually run it at the current pace right now. Ow, Sa got third. A little bit of a push, but she's gonna have to pit soon. But we definitely could not take advantage of that since she's way far. Or what, 16, 17 seconds behind her? She's gonna be able to pit before we can get home there. While Sue down to 58% as we approach lap 18. Yeah, definitely not gonna be able to get into the pit lane before Sa gets out. Oh, luckily we did! But Esteva, Gansler, and Delinkvis are still far ahead of our drivers here. 18. Right, push the tires a bit more on Perez, and then we'll switch her out. We'll pit her out and the next exit after the start of after the end of lap 19, as we have 7 laps to go. And we Citritive. This one. 12 seconds. Can we risk it? Or make it 13th? I think we can risk it. Though she'll definitely drop in points here significantly. Silver Racing is still well ahead of us at this rate, unless Vosu by some miracle gets back into 3rd, which I doubt is going to happen, even with our 48% tire set here. Could probably push him a bit. No, maybe push him a bit later. No, can push him a bit now. Get the tires up in heat slightly. Keep it at medium for time being. 6 laps to go. We still got 7.5 laps of fuel remaining, but I'm not risking for Vosu right now. Vosu is now at 6th. Perez down at 12th. Not exactly a good thing as Lazy Ruba gets ahead of her. And she's now down 14th, but she's still in a pretty decent spot here. So she's definitely in a good spot for tires and fuel. Uh-oh, not looking good. Ganser sneaking up on our drivers. He's got a better tire now. He's at 90% on his softs. Could take over Vosu here as we approach lap 21. Yep, there he goes. Really quick pit stops for Firebird MRT here, which is definitely killing our numbers. If we can't get the same kind of pit times as Firebird, we won't be able to effectively beat them. Well, let's hope they can last until the end of the race. Now we'll just have to push Vosu here as we approach lap 22. 4 laps to go. Engine condition still pretty decent. We still got a good deal of fuel left to go here. And Perez is up to 12th. Definitely needs some work to get back up on the runners there, though. Not looking good for Vosu. He's now down at 29th. Want to push it then? Vosu's down to 5th. Just have to conserve that and push the driver a bit more. Conservative tires. Conservative driving on the tires, but more pushing on the engines. We'll see if we can... If Vosu doesn't do well here, we'll just have to... We'll just have to restart, I feel. Just keep them within striking distance of the top lanes. Uh-oh, not good. No temperature there as we've got 2 laps to go. Let's see if Vosu can keep the tires up. Please! Please! Just get some tire temperature up there. He's not looking too hot. He's not looking too hot here. $14, $13. Perez. And now it's the final lap. Nope, Wasu is definitely going to lose his 6th place here. Come on, Wasu. He just needs to get this, nurse this drive home, and then we can definitely... Yep. Yes? Oh, that was alright. A little too close for comfort, but Wasu managed to save it at the last second. Unfortunately, that keeps us well behind Silver Racing now. And Perez, for somehow manages to go back. Ooh, Tien Nuna somehow scoring a win here for Archer Racing. Gansler down to 3rd. We could have pushed further if we managed to conserve our tires early on, but we went a little too early on the pits, and that pretty much killed our chances of getting back at it. Although we did manage to do a one-stop pit here. Definitely need to be better at parts, however. Hopefully when we do get some better... Ooh. Well, there is that time penalty, but it still does not affect his position. He's still at 3rd. And, well, the good thing is, Saw from Silver Racing got hit by 2 places because parts broke some of the rules, and Arbeloa also suffering from some... excuse me. Suffering from some demotions, no thanks to the parts issue. Delingfist, however, getting a fastest lap bonus, breaking the current record. And El Sadat with his crash, another problem on his belt. Ganser with a 10-second penalty because of the corner cutting, but that doesn't really affect his standings much. Ganser is now up to 2nd, just behind his teammate, 11 points. While Sue still at 3rd, behind by 12 points. Perez drops to 9th now with 99 points. Now, the issue here is if we can keep this until the end. Oh, looks like here's a bit of an issue with Lua. She was doing pretty well for most of the season, but this outing in Tondela didn't seem to be running her way. Looks like we're watching me warm. Looks like we got a Vosu fan here in the line. Awesome helmet. Meh. Archer and BMR getting in through. Like a scalded whippet. Too bad we couldn't get a podium today, but, well, at least we managed to stay within striking distance of the top 3 in the in the team standings, rather. Surprised that Vosu is on top 3 in the driver's standings, actually. But that's going to help us stay alive. Fortunately, that's going to drop some points in morale and relationship with the mechanic for Perez. Not too happy with the results there. It looks like the boss also not too happy. But at the very least, we're still in the black, mostly, as we approach the ninth outing of the race. Definitely need some better outputs in the next one. Milan is going to be a bit of a sprint race, which is going to be a problem because we don't have good engines. So how do we go about with this? Okay, let's see the news bits here. Surprisingly, since we didn't push Vossi's car that much. He only got 21% drops on his car performance, but Perez suffered significantly because of the tire wear, so she's down to 34. Alright, what's the report? I'm gonna need a new morale boost from Perez. Okay, thanks. 3 pit stops, 2.28 of a second slower than our season record. Not too bad, but could have been worked on. And I'm pretty sure the real life pit stop. What's the real life pit stop record? A 1.8 seconds by McLaren in 2023. We need to beat that. Definitely need to get those pit crew guys up and cleaned up soon. No news for those one? Yep, our pit times might need a reshuffle. Anything we can do for scouting? Doesn't look like it. Ah, car repair is complete. Thank you. Okay. Parts improvements 1 day after race. Let's switch over to this one now. 25 days is 1 day after race. Which one is this? Oh, this one. Definitely still a lot of performance improvements that can be applied there. Now, shall we go to the next run? It's not good. Nothing on the news. I want to upgrade this so I can get my road factory up soon. Lippanen, despite having some issues with his neck, seems to have scored another podium win, this time in Phoenix. Parisi, though, is sneaking right behind him. Although that's a 60-second gap. What the heck? And now, Steinman Motorsport is still in the lead, but Scuderia Rossini cut it down by 20. Oh, come on. Did I see another affair thing? Also... Ay, ay, ay. Ooh, that's not good. Bosu has better performance than Perez, mostly. But with this drop in form, that's not gonna help our case much. So I think I'm gonna send Bukalova as #1 driver at this rate. Currently within our target of 5th at the very least. But here's a surprising thing. Wait, Sa is a reserve driver, right? Oh no, she was contracted as a reserve, but then she got pushed to a main driver. She's been with the team since she finished off Kirov 2020. And she joined Silva in the next season. No, she joined Silva in 2020. No, she didn't get anything. And Silva just got demoted this season. So apparently she's already planning to leave. Okay, what's gonna be? Milan's gonna be 21 laps, so that's gonna be easy. That's a sprint. There's a 40% chance of rain. That's gonna be a problem. I'd love to. I really would, but I need the money, buddy. Saw. Okay, what Silver Racing is looking like? Oh, it's Gomez. Ramsey. Saw. And she's got an affair. Oh God. Arsaw and Bosu in an affair? Please tell me no. Dang. Save it here. Hopefully we don't run into other issues. Definitely need to get some of this work done soon. Parker is expected to be the favorite in Milan today. And it looks like Gansler is getting disparaged in the comments because he doesn't seem to be in the striking range for Parker yet. And crunch time indeed. Parker seems to be confident. Very wide. We're pretty much the outlier here for the podium, Perez. If we're going by all the standard marking rules, we got that big double triangle on us. Oh, it's not a double triangle, it's a hollow triangle, which means we are way outside. Not exactly a good sign for us there. Well, here's hoping we can at least get into it. But I don't think Perez is going to be making a lot of points to get back up in the top 10. Or at least the top 5, since she's currently 9. But the question is, can she at least get back on the... top speed? Okay. Okay, so we're expected to be focusing on high-speed corners, braking, and top speed, which means we're gonna have... Oh. Oh, they don't seem to be worried about their parts right now, but I think I should be. Nothing too bad there. I hope we can at least get the drivers up and ready for practice. Time is it? Oh. We might have a chance to get at least one more race after Milan, but I don't know if that's going to be possible at this rate. Oh no, it's raining a bit. Should we stick to damps? Okay. Let's give, let's give, Wasu inters, and then we'll go and bring Bukalova up for wets. Bit more on the downforce there, and then give her wets. And then take practice. And keep it at 4 laps both. It's gonna be wet until at least the last 9 minutes of the track. But I don't think I want to switch Bosu out from inters. Might help him get some better knowledge out here. Tire chip 17%. Ugh. Fields bang on downforce. That's nice. Gans are going out on mediums. What a brave driver out there. Aero setup is fantastic. That sounds like a good feedback here. Bosu getting some good laps here. As well as Bukalova. Loving the handling. Love that. Nice feedback from our teams here. But definitely Vosu is going to drop as the tire wets go down a bit. Gonna switch him around a bit once the track hits 6 minutes. Ooh! So Bukalova's refogged to Anuna for 2nd place. Really nice to see that from the feedback here. Gear ratio seems to be excellent. But definitely want the setup knowledge to be faster, however. As we approach the last 6 minutes of practice, things are starting to dry up a bit. Bring in Bokalova here, and then we'll switch out Vosu afterwards. Numbers are still pretty decent, but I think Vosu is going to lose it once the roads dry up. Let's hope that doesn't happen in the race, though, because I think we have a better chance of getting a win here if our tires are wet. Downforce and speed balance need a bit of a fix, though. Understeer is great. Angling could probably use a bit more. Oh, it's the rear wing that needs a bit fixing. Understeer. Yep. Can switch her over to mediums. Wasu gonna be pitting in the next lap. Oh, he already listed automatically. Yep, there it is. Expected as much. Only got 4 minutes left in the race, or the practice rather, and things are gonna be dry after this, so let's put her out and give Wasu the softs that he's mostly more skilled with, and Sa is now on top. Downforce needs a bit of fix. Let's see if this changes anything. If not, we'll probably have to switch over to their setups in the previous run. We only got 3.5 minutes left. Let's see how far we can go. I'd love for that setup knowledge to at least give us race trim level 3, though. Okay, tweaks or downforce are great for Buckle at least. Not looking too hot mostly, but I feel like we still got a chance to at least get within the top 10. Good overtake on the straights there. Because they're all on inters. Of course. Okay, last minute. Can we at least get race trim level 3? Here's hoping. Nope, I don't think we're gonna get level 3. It's the end of practice. Still got a lot of work to work. Ooh, we still managed to get level 3 out of that? Nice. Wasu finished second on practice. Bukalova finished third. We actually managed to get that up there. Very nice. Let's hope that actually translates to something in the final race itself. Or in the actual race itself, that is. Billy jumped to third, snatching a couple of seconds there. Just 0.2 of a second behind Parker, and Bukalova is down to 0.3 of a second. Oof, ZRT Autosport really not looking too hot in the last few races. Parker definitely feeling it, though. Ganser might have some problems there. Alright, here we go. Looks like it's going to be a wet run. Yep, we're gonna stick to wets for the time being. Let me just save it here to be safe. If I need to load, I'm gonna have to switch tires out. But let's try and keep the tires wet. Since it's going to be a 21 lap race, I expect to switch somewhere around 10, 11 maybe. Hopefully by then it's still pretty wet. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about this one. It doesn't have quick fixes, but that's not 100% a problem for us right now. No, the issue though is excuse me. Understeer. Understeer top speed could definitely drop a bit. Okay, so downforce is decent right now, so I think we'll stick with this and bring back the original setup for the understeer. So that speed balance will be the only thing that's currently at low. Let's hope it doesn't affect us much. No need to change stuff for Perez, I think. Everything seems to be decent here. Let's hope we can keep it that way till the end of the race. Dampness won't be a problem, but I think it's going to be a bit lower in rain before we have to switch over in the middle of the race. Keep everything at normal. Let's see the grid. Benjamin Merchant still having issues with his dodgy neck. Wait. Reserve? Why is he on top then? Bondi, suffering through most of the season, is down at 20th and will be playing pole at the starting grid. Les Roiba, not exactly happy with his positioning at 18th. El Sadat, understandably, also a bit too low for his liking. Severa, who was one of the top runners for Octane last season, is currently in 16th. Delenkvist, pretty decent running, but he's only got 3 months left on his contract. Bileu, Balkan, Archibald Sergio Arbeloa. Dawson, not a good sign for Dawson here. Not like we can say we're in a good spot as well. Perez is currently expected to be at 4. Also is at 6. Let's see how far we can go here. Lights out and away we go. Ooh, bad start for Vosu there. Bit of a slow acceleration, but he did manage to get a jump over Esteva. Ooh, somebody ran wide. Somebody ran way wide. Les Ruiba ran wide and is almost bumped into us there. Is it going to be having trouble accelerating behind there? As we start a bit of the jumpy and rainy race here. Esteban managed to jump ahead of Sa and overtaking Inuna as well. Perez, by some luck, is up at 8th. I don't think she can keep it long, though. Temperatures might need a bit of a push-up here. Unless things don't seem too bad. We'll just have to wait and see until the middle of the race. Wasu not exactly having a fun time sticking at 18th. Perez also stuck at 8th as we approach the home line. 20 laps to go. El Sadat dropping down. Merchant also losing his spot, and Delenkvist is now on top. Wasu might lose this, yep. Oh no, Perez dropped down at 11th. What happened? She got overtaken on that slow corner there. Arbeloa just jumping out of nowhere and taking that snapshot. And Perez also dropping to 12. Asa gets ahead of her. And she's now down at 13th with Parker jumping out of nowhere. That looks not looking too good for Vosu as he drops down to 19th because of Dan Nuna overtaking him. Is now up to lap 3. Plenty of action at Todd. Yeah, our drivers are going down significantly here. Not taking it. Ooh, the tire wear is already pushing up. I think it's trying to push a bit. Thankfully, the tires are durable enough, even though it's a bit of a wet run. But we definitely need to work our ways up and get a better standing before we switch over and lap. Oh, looks of it, though, we might just switch over to... Oh, Perez with a push-up over there, but she can't brake well enough to get one up over Fondi. Vosu is still stuck in the back. Lalpeklua blocking him. Dawson out of nowhere on the 19th. Les Ruiba struggling to get back into it. Ooh, good late braking there for Perez. Too bad she couldn't take it. She manages to get back at it with Arbeloa getting left behind for that one, and now... Oh, this one. Hang on. Starting lap 5 with a good straightaway position there for Perez, but Vosu drops down to 16th, unfortunately. Can Perez get back at it? Oh, bit of a run there, but she manages to snatch 9th from Merchant. Too bad, Esteban was right there. Ooh, bit of a tight spot here on this hairpin right before the home plate. Still a bit of a traffic jam for some reason. Well, the back, that is. Alright, the gap between Perez and Vosu is getting smaller by the looks of it as we approach lap 6. Things might be looking up for our drivers in the middle of the race, so we might be switching over to soft. Or hopefully we can at least keep them at inter so that we're still within striking distance of the top runners. Ooh, Vosu jumped one over Merchant. Surprisingly slow tire degradation for Delinquisbilio and Silvera right now, despite the fact that they're pushing pretty badly. Ooh, Perez dropped down to 11th again. Gansler getting ahead of her. Wasu now at 13th, well within striking distance of her teammate, just as he can get past Tia Nuna. And now it's start lap 17, and it looks like the traffic jam is still up. Not much of a breakaway here in the back. Perez snatching 10th from Ganser right at the opening corner. But she's not going to be able to hold that for long, it appears. Wow, Bonetti blocking Gansler there, giving Perez the chance to go up to 9th. Though she's not exactly pushing out as fast as she wants to. Gonna put down drives to neutral again. We don't want to kill our tires just yet. We're still at 56% for Perez, though, so that's going to be helpful in the long run. Ooh, that's a home hairpin as we approach lap 8. Tire went... Also went down to 13 because of Bonetti, Gensler, and Tia Nuna starting a bit of a traffic jam after Perez jumped one over them. Come on. Ooh, Gensler really wants to get back at it. He's going to take an overrun here. Good fight there from Perez, trying to keep 9th, but the hairpin just didn't cooperate, and Gensler is back up in 9th. Tires are getting dry now as we approach the end of lap 9. Ooh, Perez jumps over El Sadat for that one. While Sue is now up to 11 thanks to a little help from Bonetti dropping back. It was trying to push it a bit. Can Vosu overtake El Sadat to get 10th, though, is the question. Nope, not on that corner, at least. Definitely not on that chicane either. Or, not on that hairpin either. But somehow he got away on the straight, and he is now in 10th behind his teammate. As we approach lap 10. Vosu's up with a personal best here. We might have to switch out to speedy tires for a bit. Or we can do that at 11:12. Yeah, 11:12 it is. End of lap 11. Get some more gaps up. Elsadati and Nuna Merchant, Lapacua, and Bonetti have already switched out to dry tires. How's everybody else up front? We got Delankvist and Bilio switching out. Silveira is also in the run here. So I think it is a good time to jump into softs, maybe? Now let's try and go into softs. No need to fix anything. Switch fuel up. Uh-oh, not good. 33% chance of errors here. Oh, we'll just have to send them out. Wasu will have to pit lay in the next one. And we're switching him over to softs. Just one extra. What would happen if I get another? Oh, that's 13. Alright, Wasu, good luck out here. Ah! Not a good sign there. Perez suffered some errors on the rear tire, and she's heading out on 10th. Or 11th, rather. Now to drop to neutrals for this one. She's definitely going to lose here because our tires aren't exactly really good for these kinds of temperatures. Or rather, for these kinds of situations. Vosu needs to get up and change that quick before the Linkvis jumps in. No merit, no mistakes, please! We're gonna lose first as we approach lap 12, but Vosu seems to be keeping well within a good striking distance. Never mind. He's now down to 14th, and Perez is up at 12th. Question is, can we keep these tires until the end of the race? And probably force the race leaders to pull out and switch over. Parker gets the fastest lap again, breaking the record. But Dellingquist is still ahead of her. Oh, Gasler takes one over her teammate, but he's still behind at 7. How many more laps do we have? We still got, I'd say 8 or 9. No, we still got 9 laps to go. No, it's 8 laps to go for now. As Sa is forced to pit for a fix. Looks like she's having trouble with her wings. Perez is now up to 11th, but she still needs to be conservative as her tire wear is having some problems here. She's now down 75%. Vasu, who jumped a bit later, is down to 84, but he definitely needs to work his way up again, as everybody else is driving, well, up and ahead of him. Not too good. 7 laps remaining, and our team drivers are still behind. Well, Piclua keeping Vasu out. Perez stuck in 11th with El Sadat still ahead of her. Probably gonna have to push the tires up a bit. At least for Perez, looks like her tire temperature is getting a little too cold. Got 6 laps remaining. We got 6 laps to go. Perez still second, at 6th place. Never mind. She's now up to 10th. getting one over Elcidot on that opening corner. Temperature is still a bit cold. Tire wear is down to 60 though, so we got to be a bit more conservative on this one. Vosu is at 15th, and his tire wear is still 70% good, but we need to work our way up again. Sa is back up on fastest lap, but she's down in the dumps at 20th. Can she get back into it? 5 laps to go, and our standings aren't exactly looking up to snuff. Vexala Motorsport has a chance to get one over us unless we can still keep this up in the next run. We need to get back up. If I suffer here, I'm gonna have to switch up again. Not looking too good here. 4 laps to go. We still need to work our way up back. Ooh, getting one over there. Just before hitting the start-end line, and Vosu drops 4th. Perez also up a bit. Definitely need to push the tires just a bit more, though. Let's see if keeping them at attack and push should be enough to keep them in better positions before this before the stage is over. As we approach lap 19 with 3 laps to go, tire wear definitely becoming an issue for our drivers here. Ooh, Vosu jumping to 11th here. Got 2 laps to go, actually. Now, Vexala still has a head ahead of us as we are approaching lap 20. Okay, fine. Go back to push then. Looks like everybody else ahead of us isn't in the mood to switch out at the last second and gonna push it in. Definitely gonna lose our 3rd place here. Maybe we should have kept our drivers up at the... push up here. Let's see what happens here. If things don't look too hot for us, then I think I'm gonna restart. Vexala went up and took over Silver Racing. What the heck? Come on, get us some good numbers here. Ooh. Vosu went down a 10th. Nonetheless, though, we got one over Vexala over Silver Racing. Parker with a confident 1st place finisher again. Gansler down a 4th. Well, despite that pretty rough running at the end, we still managed to keep our 3rd. The problem is, we got lunged, or rather leapfrogged, by Vexala Motorsport. Pretty much jumped up ahead of us. Let's see the scrutineering rules. Ooh! Ooh, that's not looking good. Gansler suffers he suffers 8 places, or 8 points, rather. He suffered 8 places in demotion after most of his parts are shown to have broken GMA rules. Not a good look for Firebird MRT there. 8 places despite the fact that he was up here before. Definitely a pain to look at. Nuna getting the fastest lap bonus is small consolation for the fact that he is down in 19th. And Sa definitely will beat herself up over the fact that she went down to 20th in a race that she should have dominated at. Parker is definitely going to be happy about her positioning, but she's going to hear an earful from her teammate after the paddock is cleaned up. At the very least, that helps push our drivers up a bit, with Perez at 7th and Bosu at 9th, although that's definitely not going to help us in the big times. Ooh! Thanks to that drop, though, Vexala Motorsport's Laura Esteva is now at 2nd, dropping Gansler down to 4th. Gansler is now behind 22 points at 133. And Esteva is behind it with 19 at 136. Our drivers managed to keep their positions in the standings. Perez still at 9th, but definitely needs some more work as we approach the last 3 races. Last quarter of the race here, or rather the last quarter of the season. Only 3 races to go, but they're going to be brutal drives with 2 very long circuits and a speed circuit with Rio at the end. At the standings there, Firebird MRT is still on top, but the gap has reduced significantly thanks to that Gansler gaff. Vexala Motorsport leapfrogging us with 249 points. Isn't exactly that big of a gap, thankfully. But Silver Racing dropping significantly after that. Not a good look for the team. Mostly because Sa went down significantly in the points. And Ramsey, despite the increase there, didn't really do much for this particular leg. Since he's still stuck in the back there. So the best thing we can do is hope that we can do better in the last quarter so we can keep our positioning. If not, get up. Zambelli engineering suffering significantly in that one. They just need some wins, but they've already got some wins on a couple of races. So they're getting a bit pissed that Octane Racing isn't investing enough in their cars. Right, let's just check some of the notes and see if we can do anything before we call it in for the night. I don't think I can get another run here. Oh, great. Looks like that good finish for Perez managed to jump her relationship back up, and she has quick fixes again. They came 4th. Didn't expect that. Could have worked with better driver form, really. Surprisingly, Perez has a higher driver form overall compared to Boss Sue. Now we're only $52,000 in. Though thankfully we've got 3 races to go, so only going to be helpful for the next one. Let's see the mail. 20% drop on average. Not a bad side, despite the fact that he did suffer significantly in the end there. But Perez, though, 44% drop in performance. Definitely something to look into. That's what they need. Drop their marketability even more. Come on. Disparage them. Well, it's of course not exactly sporting, but we're probably in need of cutting down their resources so we can at least catch up. Okay, let's see. 2 pit stops, 7 seconds slow because of the refueling and all that. We had 1 pit mistake. Yeah. Furukawa Goshi Furukawa-kun, nandeshita? Okay, what's on this one? Oh, that's just that. At this rate, I might just handle the management myself if they keep going like this, but what's our staff status right now? Ooh, we're definitely gonna need Charlotte Williams still. I think she's got pretty decent stuff up, but she needs a bit more support. I hope we can keep this level of contracts with her so we can at least maintain a good budget for our upgrades in the future, but definitely need something to help her up a bit more. Ooh, race management's good, finance is good, loyalty is good. Team loyalty again. We're actually the safest right now, but that could change immensely if we fail in the last quarter of the 2023 season. We did get 2 podiums this season, which is a big difference from the last time. And this is the season where we first got a win. If we're lucky, we could get some more wins before the end of the season, but that's pretty much wishful thinking. But, well, much as I'd like to continue setting up our drivers for a rush here, I think it's a good time as any to call it in for the day. Thank you so much for joining us. It was a pretty nail-biting experience this on the third quarter of the 2023 season, and we did suffer some pretty bad runs there, but at the very least, we did manage to keep our third place finish, or our third place setup for the team championships, but I'd really love it if we can at least jump up a bit further. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Let's not talk about tomorrow for the time being. Let's talk about how our performance is projecting. Very likely that it's very likely that we might have to switch out some parts in the last quarter of the race, or the last quarter of the season, mostly because some of the parts seem to be in need of fixing and working more efficiently. But at the very least, we did get our illegal parts ready for next season, so that's going to help us get some good numbers in, hopefully. Let's just hope that the last quarter of the season will be kind to us so that we don't have to worry about losing the chance to get more money at the end. But of course, things could change dramatically towards the end. We'll just have to see how things kind of progress from there. Hopefully, it won't be that big. Any hoot, I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Could be another video game, but could not be this one. Or we could already start work on another fan art. Who knows? For the time being, if you got any complaints or my reactions about the stream today, I'd really love it if you can drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv. Also, please share my. Please provide a comment on the fan art that we just finished and we uploaded on Twitter and Pixiv as well. It really helped me so that I could determine what else I could do to improve my drawing job or drawing skills. They count as skills? I don't think they count as skills anymore. Anywho, if you got a hankering for the older Motorsport Manager streams that have expired here on Twitch, you can always check the VOD archive linked on the About tab of my profile page. By the way, that if you reach this part of the archive, I'd like to thank you for staying long enough to watch the end of the stream. Hopefully, you can drop me a comment on the VOD comment section as well. Really help me do some improvements or apply some improvements to the stuff I stream. Speaking of archives, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, you can always drop me a line on my. Oh, you can always check or you can always share my Twitch account, twitch.tv/lurk@work. Once again, I'm not too sure what's going to happen tomorrow, so keep an ear out on the socials for that one. Hopefully, I'll be able to get some fairly decent, or I can get the final plans for what's going to be happening tomorrow in a couple of hours when I wake up again, of course. For now, just keep an ear out on socials. Things can change at the last minute, as is the usual. But, well, that's just how it goes, I suppose. Definitely need to get that fixed up in the future, though. Well, that's all from me for now. Lurk at Work is now RTV. Once again, thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night, everybody.